First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash, and of ourselves, Great Millstone, Wallet is Truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom, and come back here today with another great, powerful lesson, the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the title of today's lesson is the coming hour of temptation. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will be today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by ABC News. And it reads, it said Americans will need real ID to travel in 2025. Here are the requirements. Let's get a little bit more. It says the United States is less than a year out from the Department of Homeland Security federal requirements for real ID for domestic flights and entering federal facilities, and to help you get ahead and avoid a dreaded hours long wait at the DMV. Said Good Morning America has gathered all the essential details you need to ensure your identification is up to date. So what is real ID? So the U.S. Department of Homeland Security previously delayed the implementation of the real ID several times over the past few years due to the C-19 pandemic. But as of this week, the U.S. Residents have under a year to obtain their soon-to-be federally required form of identification. So here's what you need to know. Said the Federal Real ID Act was passed by Congress in 2005 following the 9/11 Commission recommendation that the federal government set standards for the insurance of sources of identification such as driver license. The DHS state on its website. Let's get this a little bit more right here. It says the new rules set out which forms of identification may be used to board flights within the United States and to enter secure federal facilities such as military bases, federal courthouses, and other federal facilities. So they said that this was delayed several times, but now they're saying now you have within a year to get this, they so-called real ID, and they said it will be federal issue. So we already know a man shall desire to go into another city and won't be able because of this right here. You know, this identifications, this surveillance, this digital ID. You know, all these things gonna work hand in hand with this currency that they're getting ready to put in place. Also, this the main goal is to the grain of rice to track and tag. So this is another form of what control your whereabouts, your travel. You know, so we seeing how this picture is going. We're not ignorant of Satan devices, his agenda, his plan. He's want this total control. So we seeing right here what is wrong with your regular identification, your regular license. All of a sudden, it's got to be a real ID. They saying that it, they don't have to. They trying to identify that these undocumented migrants. You know, if you don't have the right paperwork, they can use this to get them and take them, get them out of the country, you know. But we already knowing that, you know, this is right here is targeting people of color, the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Indians. And one thing about it, the hour of temptation or Jacob's trouble, you know, it's fast approach. We seeing it right here. So it's saying by May, I think May the 7th of 2025, that this they're gonna implement this. Also, we know that grain of rice is right around the corner. So we seeing they're constantly, gradually bringing it in. It also is gonna work hand in hand with this new digital currency. You know, this Fed Now app or this universal basic income. So a lot of these things are coming into play. Also, this new technology dealing with robotics. You know, they're gonna take over pretty much pretty much all of these jobs, so they, you will own nothing and be happy. So we seeing the picture lining up like clockwork. That's why we're constantly warning you left and right. We seeing that the stage is set, all things are ready for what? Total control. And also we are knowing that they're preparing for this collapse of the dollar. So we already knowing that these BRICS nations are constantly getting a tighter and tighter alliance. They're coming together, what I'm saying, to form their own currency. But we already knowing right now that that they already have another a system in place. What I'm saying, total control. So this is one form of it. This real ID, whereby talking about you will not be able to travel. Like you want to catch a flight right now, you pretty much just show your regular ID or just show your ticket or passport and go straight on through. But now they getting ready to put more restrictions in the way. You're going to have more identification. It's just really you. And we already knowing the real ID, what is coming is the MOTB. So that grain of rice, that's his word, this is leading. And we already know they putting all these different laws and decrees into place, these policies, so they can, what I'm saying, they're saying that they're here to help you, but really it's totally against you, what I'm saying? Well, we know that we're in a spiritual warfare, so, this is what they are preparing for. It's all by design, but all by design of who? Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So we already knowing a lot of things to get ready to come. The beginning of Saul, tracking and tagging, that Karagma, these FEMA camp, these guillotines, all these things are getting ready to come into play. We're constantly warning, all the games about to be over. So now, let's go ahead and get a couple of quick precepts and we'll start today's video. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. Let's go here to Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 12. And it says, For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an even net, and as the birds that are caught in the snares or a trap, so are the sons of men snared in a evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them. So that's what's going to happen. It's going to suddenly fall upon you. We see they constantly gradually bringing it in little by little. We already knowing that he's trying to get that advantage. That advantage is total control, the NWO. We already knowing that if everything is here, the stage is set, all things are ready. A lot of people going to get caught up in the evil net, the hour of temptation, Jacob trouble. Will sound like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. It's right on schedule. The war drums are beating. This is where we at. Our faith is going to have to be built up. And one thing about a lot of people are shaking and faking right now, but the Lord is constantly weeding everyone out. Everyone is standing in their lot. Are you just? Are you unjust? Are you holy? Are you unholy? The Lord is constantly shifting the house. A lot of people are getting exposed. A lot of things being uncovered. The lies and deception. So we seeing it right with our own eye. These things are coming full circle. And one thing about it, you don't even have to believe, because it's going to be none effect. The truth is constantly being declared left and right. Let's read in the NLT. And it reads that people can never predict when hard time might come. Like fish in a net or birds in a trap, people are caught by sudden tragedy. So that's what getting ready to have, sudden tragedy, all of a sudden. Right now, everything is going on just like, people watching what these Olympics, people are saying that they're, they're going to invest in this, or they're going to get married on this month or that month, constantly, planning things in this fallen kingdom, not considering the signs of the time, not even knowing what is going on, but there it's going to be just like a domino effect. It's going to hit them. They're going to have a rude awakening. When you wake up, it will be too late. That's why we constantly warn you, because when this hour of temptation hit, it's going to be a time of trouble that we have never seen before. People, are going to be dying left and right in the billions. Also, no resources, no be able to go to the bank. So a lot of people gonna be trying to make bank runs. That's why they're gonna call on the military. They're gonna call on and say, hey, we're going to call martial law, because things are getting out of control. Because when they shut this system down, take out this old system and bring into this new system, this new digital society that's going to be working with these real IDs, also what your biometrics, your digital IDs, tracking and tagging. Everything about you will be on your driver license, your medical records, your your car insurance, pretty much everything about you. It will be the tracking and tagging. What is this all about? Total control. And one thing about it, the Lord already said, if you submit or if you consent, you will be trodden underfoot. That means that you will be totally destroyed. So we coming upon these times, a great tribulation period that we have never seen before. That's why the government back in I think it was back in 15 or 16 ordered 30,000 a guillotine. That was on Obama watch. So we already know that they already had put things into place. Now they getting ready to bring it to execute it. They're getting ready to implement it right before our eyes. And one thing about the men of the Lord, we constantly warn you, the coming hour of temptation. So we'll start today's video. The hour of temptation is right before our the MOTB. All these things are already here. All they have to do is announce something and cause this effect, order out of chaos to bring forth this new system, this new way of doing things. You know, trying to say it in a way where YouTube won't mess with you. You know how YouTube get down. So now I started today's video, and also this man here, you know, he's constantly telling it just like it is. He's not in the truth, but one thing about it, he's seeing what's going on. So a lot of people is seeing what's going on and still not perceiving because they don't want to believe the signs of the time. They want this place to constantly go on. We're chanting this place down. DTA, a Bob. We're ready to get out of this place. You know, so we ready for the Lord to bring forth this destruction. We already know it through much violence, through much tribulation, war, and bloodshed. The Lord's going to usher in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So the title of today's lesson, once again, is the coming hour of temptation. So now let's start today's video. And after the videos, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
This is a follow-up to the video I did earlier about the money in the banks. I'm going to tell you right now, BRICS is officially online. BRICS is here. Russia, China, Africa, Saudi Arabia, Iran, some other countries have come together to eliminate the dollar. And we are starting to feel those effects now. Back in June, Saudi Arabia agreed to start trading the oil in the BRICS, no longer in the dollar, which has really not been felt immediately, but in the next few months and weeks we will feel it, and the banks will feel it, and America will feel it, and it's pretty much going to collapse the economy because the dollar will no longer be backed by its most valuable asset, which is oil. It's supposed to be backed by gold, neither one which America has. We do have oil in Texas and Alaska, but they would have to get bold and start drilling and tapping into the resources, which we don't know if they're ready to do based on the environmental claims they make. But what's going to happen is once the BRICS collapses the dollar and the dollar collapses in America and the banks shut down, they already have a system in place. They've been working on FedNow and the Real ID. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google both. You can Google fednow.gov or you can Google Real ID. And both of these things are in place and ready to go. So they need to roll this system out. And the only way to roll this system out is to collapse the dollar. So this is planned and they're going to execute it and we are going to be the targets. So when you go into the banks and you're not able to access your money and we start freaking out, burning shit down, they're going to bring in the military. The military is going to lock shit down, and then they're going to start giving out choices. They're going to start saying, you can get food and rations, yada, yada, yada. You can get this bank code on your Real ID, and basically you'll be trapped by the government, and you'll be dependent on the government. This is going to be a big separation in mankind right now, especially in America. What's going to happen is those who can take care of themselves, who know how to grow food, who know how to hunt, who know how to look for clean water, how to filter clean water, who don't need to depend on the government and the system to survive, you will be living your own life. Those of us who think that we need to depend on the government and we can't do it on our own, we're going to be fucked. So I'm telling you right now, they're coming up on a time where they're about to be a big split. There's about to be a big split, a big separation coming about. And it's going to have to do with technology, and it's going to have to do with 5D, and it's going to have to do with the end of times and the Antichrist and all that stuff that you hear about that scares you. is taking place. So I would advise you, no fear, just live in the moment, live at your highest self, be your highest self, and get ready, because we're entering some crazy times, as you can see from the past few weeks.
And if you're planning to fly around the country next year, you have about a year to get your Real ID. The deadline is May 7th, 2025. A Real ID's driver's license or ID card will let you fly domestically without a passport and enter secure federal facilities like military bases and courthouses. You can check your status by looking at your license or ID card. Those with Real IDs show a bear with a gold star in the upper right corner.
So there's a lot of people from my last video saying that nothing's coming, nothing's gonna happen, I'm paranoid, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna tell you like this. This is where I'm working, okay? I'll read that. This is where I'm working right now. The man who owns that company, I'll say Shelon Tusk. Y'all know Shelon Tusk. Find the rhyme, the rhythm. He has us working 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week. I'm an electrician. I wire up all the machinery that they're using to build the trucks. I'm wiring up all the machinery that they are using to build these robots, okay? We are working 12 hours, 7 days a week. I have worked for TikTok. I have worked for Amazon. I have worked for Samsung. I have worked for Fortune 500 companies all year. Nobody is pushing their people like this, okay? 12-hour shifts. He is trying to complete this for something. I promise you, bro, soon as these robots go online, it will kill 80% of the job force. All you people driving trucks, in restaurants, who don't think this can happen in Japan, they already have robots serving tables. They already have nurses that are being robotically projected from monitors to help patients. Your job is not safe, okay? 80% of the workforce will be killed by these robots. As soon as he puts these AIs inside of these robots, I promise you, bro, they will think, be smarter, faster, and they do not need to sleep, bro. We call in. I called in 3 days ago because I worked 6 days straight. Robots don't do that, and that's what they are pushing for, bro. Have you sitting at home with the Real ID, with your FedNow money, taking free governmental universal income, slave, bro. Victim to the system, bro. They do not want you out here moving how you want. They do not want you collecting resources. They don't want you to do anything without their knowledge, bro. They want to track every transaction. They want to track your whereabouts. They want to know what you're thinking, bro. And all they want to do is monetize and commercialize that. It's that mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is taking things that should not be for money or for sale and making them for sale, like your soul, love, things of that nature, bro. And y'all say that it's not coming, bro. It's right around the corner. I promise you, bro, this is coming. Where I'm working right now has proven that. This man sends drones on the top of the buildings, drones inside the building to count how many people are working at all times. This is not a game, bro. I'm telling you, this is just his company, bro. Imagine what they're doing. Like Facebook, all these companies are together. They're acting like they're competitors. They're not. They all have one agenda, bro. And each of them are doing their part. I promise you. I need y'all to really think about this, bro. They're building bulletproof trucks with robots. I don't know if you've seen it, but look it up. Recently, a guy just got pulled over in Dubai by a Cybertruck police, and it had a robot in it, and the robot gave him a ticket for using his phone and not being buckled up. And they sent the fine to his phone. I promise you, bro, these cars are not for normal civilians. You do not make bulletproof trucks for civilians. He is going to supply and fleet out the military and the police force, bro. We will not be able to run and hide. They've already stopped making V8 engines in trucks, and the Chargers are no more Hellcats or Hemis being produced. They're all V6s. We will not be able to escape this shit, bro. I promise you, bro, these robots are going to take your job. They're going to be police forced. They're going to be the new revolution, bro. And we're going to be on our asses like Idiocracy. I promise.
So he's saying from a worldly perspective, he is prophesying. But one thing about it is that, we got to put our total trust in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So the Lord said he will pour out his spirit on all flesh. So this man is prophesying. He probably don't even know it, but, it's a lot of good information. So that's very spiritual, even though this man is not in the truth, but he's still speaking, You know what I'm saying? Spiritually, the Lord can, people are prophesying left and right, telling you about these things. So a lot of people are seeing right now, but a lot of our people still are docile. They still being rebellious. Let's start here. Ezekiel chapter 12. Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 2, one of my favorite favorite scriptures. So like it says, Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 2 says, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not, and they have ears to hear and hear not, for they are a rebellious house to this day. So we see in those two videos that this young guy brought out, he's seeing what's going on, and he's hearing, he's seeing it with his own eyes, because the Lord said he will pour out his spirit on all flesh. A lot of people are prophesizing, right, and telling you what's getting ready to happen. They're not prophets, but the Lord's putting the spirit on them to, to let you know, because when the Lord bring this final judgment, it's going to be something that it's going to be these things that they have in the movie, like Civil War, just a few examples, The Purge, what's that other one? It's another one about Implanted. All these things are already out here, but a lot of people, they're looking and seeing, but they'll look at it and they're looking another way, because they're very preoccupied, this bread and circus show, constantly getting rocked back to sleep. But one thing about it, they're getting ready to wake their asses up very soon, because we seeing the stage is set. All things are ready. It's already here. And all they have to do is call a lockdown or a mandate. You will own nothing and be happy. So you seen in the second video, he was talking about this artificial intelligence. It's already been closing all these jobs down. They saying they have this store is closing, that store is closed. Also they've been laying off a lot of peoples, because they get ready to be replaced by AI. It's about robotics. Also transhumanism. So all these things are coming into play, bringing in this new system, this fourth industrial revolution, this new technology. It's getting ready. They're bringing it forth in order to be a part of this new system, this new technology, a new way of doing things. You will have to take it under the skin. That Real ID is just one part that put in place for a control measure. Have you under surveillance, keeping up with your whereabouts. A man shall desire to go in the city, it shall not be able. So we're seeing that. Let's read this in the NLT. Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 2 says, Son of man, you live among rebels who have eyes but refuse to see. They have ears but refuse to hear, for they are rebellious people. So you was talking about the 2/3, they just can't get right. Still bucking up against the elders of Great Millstone, still questioning the doctrine. Oh, this ain't right. This, that ain't right. But one thing about it, the Lord is the door. He can open or he can close the door of your mind. Either he can let you receive it, or he don't have to let you receive it. So the Lord is in perfect control. So that's why we're seeing all these things that happen, right? Everyone is standing in their lot. It's gradually coming in, but we're seeing that it's constantly picking up. The coming hour of temptation, Jacob's trouble, very close at hand. So now let's go here to Isaiah. Let's go here, because this is what they're putting into place. They're telling you by I think it said May the 7th of 2025, a year from now. So let's go here, Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Let's get this right quick. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. So I can start back over. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1, it said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed or authorized. And also when you go into that word decree, it goes into a law. So I'm seeing right now that, you have to have this Real ID by May the 25th, or you will not be able to travel the way that you used to travel. The restrictions, what I'm saying? All sorts of regulations and law mandates that get ready to put into place. So let's read it in the NLT. Said, what sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws. And we already know who's doing that. Esau, Edom, is in the modern day so-called white man, which in fact is the devil that the Bible speaks of. He putting all these different unfair laws into play, unrighteous decrees, these mandates, these policies into place, to restrict, to control, your whereabouts, surveillance 24/7. These FEMA camps, also these guillotines are going to come into play. That Karagma. So a lot you seeing it happening right before our eyes. So that's what they're constantly doing. Telling that you got to have this, you got to have that. The only thing you got to have is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. So the Lord is the ultimate judge. So, they will not be able to perform their enterprise. Let's go here to, we'll get two more and we'll close. That's not meant to be a long lesson tonight. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, let's go here. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. And it reads here, for the sword in their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. So we already know about what is the modern day sword, what is the gun, all sorts of what weaponry, all sorts of what technology. So we already know that the sword in their destruction draws nigh. It's drawing nearer and nearer. Hey man, city against city, it's Egyptian against Egyptian. So we already know what's this dollar collapse is going to be, what bank runs. It's going to be all sorts of looting, rioting, civil unrest, civil war. We constantly go over these things left and right. Sedition among men. We get that in a few minutes. Protesting, killing, all sorts of things. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So when all these things happen, it's our temptation. It's going to be, a invading force, Russia and UN troops. All these things are coming fast approaching. They're getting ready to turn against America, Babylon the Great. We're seeing all these prophecies are lining up right before our eyes. Also, it's going to be a lot of what kill or be killed. They're not going to regard the government. They're not going to regard law enforcement. They're not going to regard the military. So, they're trying to turn this place into what's called a military state or a police state, where they will have total control 24/7. These why they talking about these 15 minutes. Says all these things are coming into play. Sedition among men, insurrection. They're gonna be like madmen sparing none. So this hour's coming. This time of trouble, a testing. The Lord is going to try everyone on the planet. It's getting ready to be a global event that you have never seen before. Either you going to accept that grain of rice, or you going to trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Things are getting ready to get very, very critical, very, very perilous. A time of trouble that we have never seen before. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because of what the policies, the democracies, the laws, the mandates, that they have put into play. Also these lockdowns, this real ID. Also this major prophecy that's coming into play, the MOTB, that grain of rice. So, if you don't have this under the skin, you will not be able to go into another city. You pretty much won't be able to go anywhere, if you are not being in compliance. That's why I said that the government back in 2015 or 2016, that they have recently purchased 30,000 guillotines. So we already know what this is all about. That's why the Lord said in Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10, be thy faithful until death, I will give thee a crown of life. So the Lord is going to be with us all the way to the finish line. So we already knowing that we coming upon this time great persecution. It's at the beginning of sorrow. We know that we're here. So these mandates, these lockdowns, it could be called another pandemic. So we already keep telling you about this Syrian virus, these different outbreaks. So we're seeing how this picture is coming together, order out of chaos. All these things are coming into place by design, but by design of who? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Verse 18. It said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So a lot of people are going to be very afraid when it's time of trouble comes. No, you won't have any type of resource, no water, no food, no power grid, no internet. People are going to be bugged out of their damn minds. Some people haven't eaten in several days, so it's getting ready to get very critical. Food shortage, starvation, cannibalism. A lot of things are coming. Mental Lord will constantly warning you left and right. It's about to get real. Verse 19 says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and great tribulation. So great tribulation is right upon us. You know what I'm saying? You know, a time that we are going to see that we have never seen before. The Lord is getting ready to bring it. We constantly warning you left and right. We're seeing that you're constantly gradually bringing these things into place to bring forth their agenda, their what plan. You know what I'm saying? These devices, his mindset is to what? To have total control, to make you bow down to this badge of servitude, to track and tag you every movement, to know everything about you. Total control. Control your money. Control the food. Control your mind. You know what I'm saying? But he's imagining a vain thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? One thing about the Lord already said, you know, he will not be able to perform his enterprise, but because the Lord is going to return and cut him off with the brightness of his coming. So now, let's go to our last and final script, because we know that we're very close to Jacob's trouble, speaking loud and clear. And also we know that what the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath, because he knowing that his time is very short. He's seeing that he's at the end of his rulership. The times of the Gentiles is almost fulfilled through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So now, let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Revelation, the title of today's lesson. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. We'll close out here. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10 says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this is getting ready to be a global event. The Lord already said, because thou hast kept the patience, you know, your suffering, your endurance, you know, your levels of adversity, but you kept the course. You know, you kept the faith. So you're going to have blind faith when it comes to these things that's coming upon us. You got to have the right mindset, but only through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's why the Lord said, blessed is he that have not seen but yet believe. You're going to have blind faith. And the only way you're going to have that blind faith is total trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. The only way and also the only answer. The Lord said he will provide for us. The Lord will protect you in these times of trouble. So we know that the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. So let's read this once again. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10 said, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, the suffering, the level of adversity, the straight gate. But you kept persevering. You kept trusting and believing in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You believe. You don't care what you face. You went all the way to the finish line, and the crown of life will be waiting on you. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying? It's fastly approaching. You know what I'm saying? This MOTB, which shall come upon all the world, a global event, to try them that dwell upon the earth. You know, everyone is getting ready to make a decision, which in fact, you know, the Lord's only dealing with that 1/3 elect, the house of David, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So it's coming down to the wire. You know, so the writing is on the wall. And one thing about it, we're almost at the end of this movement. We're constantly rejoicing. We're asking the Lord, how long, O Lord? We are ready to get back in our first estate and be with our Lord and Savior forever and forever. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is the coming hour of temptation. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rikakwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.